We're so happy to be delivering this to you from Vancouver. And Jessica, do you want to tell them where you're from?
I'm in Coquitlam, British Columbia, baby. The
Excellent.
top of the hill.
The top of the hill. Moving on
Top
hill.
of the hill.
Right. So what we're here to do tonight is we're going to introduce ourselves and what our specialties are. And tonight we're going to be talking about how your environment might be impacting your pain and what you can do about it to bring more joy into your life and purpose. So I'll let Jessica introduce herself first and who she is and how she can help you through your pain by bringing joy into your life. So Jessica, do you want to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Thank you. Yes. So I am Jessica Coulthard, AKA the Bring the Joy Girl. And I am a life coach, Robbins Madonna's trained life coach. I'm an NLP practitioner. I am a certified goal setting coach. And currently I'm in my training to become a certified mental magic coach as well. So I have a lot of different angles, a lot of different things that I like to bring to the table, but mostly my love and what I love to share with people is what I call my freedom formula. So my freedom formula is, I believe that when you understand what brings you joy, and so joy is a very umbrella term. It really just means that those things in your life that give you fulfillment, right? And so once you have joy, that creates new awarenesses for us, right? Is once we understand ourselves at a super deep level and what really fulfills us, it creates an awareness, a brand new awareness about ourselves and the world around us and how we show up in it and how we want to show up for other people in it. And then once you find this new awareness, that gives you choices. Choices is where the real magic starts, is because that's when you start to realize that I'm not stuck. I don't have to do the things that I think I've been, told that I have to do. I have choice. I get to have agency. I get to decide for myself what my life is going to look and feel like. Most importantly, what it's going to feel like physically, emotionally, mentally, all that stuff. The feelings is what the magic of life is about, is how we feel. And when we have this new, we find our joy, we now have the awareness, we have choice. Guess what? That's called freedom, people. That's my freedom formula. Because when we have all of that, you now have freedom. And that is what I am here to talk to you guys about today. So that's me. Back to you.
That freedom is fantastic. So I will introduce myself. Not only am I a pain educator, I am a chronic pain patient. So I come from lived experience as well as the education side of it. So a little bit of my history. Some people in the group know me. I'm Tanya Joyce, and I survived a severe motor vehicle accident in 2012, where I come from a wheelchair to a walker to walking in heels. And in 2019, I went to California and walked on fire. So I am a fire walker. And I'm educated through Pain BC. I also hold a bachelor's from Kwantlen Polytechnic University. I'm trained in psychology, criminology, restorative justice. I also do mindfulness-based stress reduction. So many titles. I know it's overwhelming. I'm also Robbins Madonna's life coach, trained just like Jessica. So we come from the same perspective. So what we're going to learn is how to build your toolbox to wellness, because what works for some people might not work for other people. And we want to empower you to find the tools that work for you. So today we're going to be talking about your environment and how it could be affecting your chronic pain management. So what in your environment do we want to identify that's bringing you joy, but also increasing your pain? So we're going to look at that to find more purpose in your life, to bring awareness to it. What can you change even one little bit at a time, for a moment, for a day, for a week? What do you want to change in a month? What do you want to change a year from now? How can we bring more joy into your life? So that's why we're called the Joy and Pain Group, because life is not all about pain. We want to bring you fulfillment, and we want to talk about it not just talk at you, but with you and bring you into the conversation to bring that joy into your life. We are a power team that works with you, not just at you. You have enough doctors talking at you. We're not physicians. We are the bring the joy people, and I'm the chronic pain patient as well as the educator. So let's talk about pain, let's talk about joy, and let's get to the heart of why we're here today. So Jessica, how can we start this conversation of your environment and how it contributes to your pain and your joy? So what would you like to tell them about bringing joy into your day?
Well, I have three things that I was thinking about that I really wanted to share today that I think is really important. So in regards to environment, I like to talk more about our emotional environment, like our internal environment, as opposed to the physical environment. I feel like maybe as the person who has personally felt chronic pain and is thriving through her chronic pain, you may be able to speak more on the physical side of things, whereas I want to focus really on the internal, the feelings, the emotions, that kind of environment that we've created and that we have in our lives. So one of the things that I know, even for myself, even though I personally have not dealt with a chronic pain situation, I've had acute pain. I've been in car accidents where I've had to recover. Currently, even having some health issues myself, causing me some discomfort. So, I mean, it's not that I'm unaware. It just isn't to the degree that, say, Tanya has had to show up for. So I like to speak more about the fact that what happens quite often is when we are, say, diagnosed with something that is now causing us to rethink how we live, or we're in an accident like Tanya was, something that happens out of the blue that is not within our control. This is what I really want to talk about, is these things that are outside of our control. They are the events in our lives that show up and kind of send you off in a direction that you had not planned to go, right? And so one of the things that happens is we feel out of control when this happens, is we all of a sudden are not really sure who our support system is, who we can turn to. You know, are there other people that have dealt with these things? What doctors do I need to see? Like what options do I have? And what happens is there's a lot, but they're limited, right? Like, sure, you can go see a doctor and they can work with you, but a doctor's only going to give you about 5 or 10 minutes before they need to shuffle you out the door to get on to somebody else. That can make you feel like you don't have people to support you. So this is where we can start to feel out of control. So what I'd like to talk about is how, you know, if we can change the way that we feel about things and recognize that, back to the freedom formula, there's choice. We have choice. And the choices that I'm proposing are this kind of a situation, right? Is that reaching out to these type of support systems like Tanya and I are providing for you. And there's a lot of, you know, other things as well, lots of homeopathic and whatever type of people. But by starting to recognize that you need to be the one to take control and be your own personal advocate, can actually start to reduce some of the emotional like the negative environment in your internal emotions. Is when you actually think, oh, you know what? I do have some choices here. I don't have to just take what this one person says to me and then run with it, right? Or I don't have to just take this pill, or I don't have to just, you know, I don't have to just anything. There is no just. You have so many options and so many choices. But I think the problem is that when we are first diagnosed, or we first are in a situation that we didn't choose for ourselves, we think that's it. We're stuck, and now we just have to react to that situation with limited information. So I guess my first point is that you're not limited. There is no limit. You just have to be open to the possibilities. So that's, Tanya, have you got anything that you'd like to add to that?
Absolutely. So when I was first in the car accident, absolutely what Jessica says. My diagnosis was, you are going to be in a wheelchair and you're not going to walk. You have a brain injury, so you're not going to talk properly. I had a stutter. You will never go back to work again. You're permanently disabled. All of these things that they say you're not going to be able to do. Don't get your expectations too high. This is your status. So you can either own those labels or you can exceed those for yourself. You can take control back of your life within what you choose. Now, certainly within limitations, if you're a paraplegic, that depends on scientific research. We need to work in combinations with the doctors, of course. In my circumstance, this is why I say build your toolbox to your wellness. Absolutely, that's important. Reality versus unreality. So my doctors said I would never walk again, talk properly again, go back to work, go back to university. I proved all my doctors wrong with my tenacity. I said, watch me. Now, after all of their diagnoses of permanent disability, I saw myself as having ability. It's the word I chose to label myself with that said, watch me. Now, those who know me know I don't give up. I have 5 children. Jessica, I hired her as a coach, and that's how we became partners. Because you have to know your own limitations. You have to know what you are capable of, or you have people around you believing in you till you can believe in yourself. Hi, Tracy. So you have to just say to yourself, what can I do? What am I capable of? What can I accept? What can I not accept? What is within my abilities? What can I change? What can I not change? Can I set goals, small goals, big goals, and know what you're capable of doing? Because your doctor sees you, like Jessica said, for such a short period of time. They only see a snapshot of your life. So they don't fully know your whole global functioning. They didn't know you before you got into this circumstance. A lot of them are specialists that only see you for a snapshot. They don't know who they're dealing with, so you have to show them who they're dealing with. Bring the joy. Bring them your smile. Bring them who they are dealing with. You have to say, watch me. Don't give up.
I really love what you said. You said the word I so many times. I have to show them, I have to do, I have to choose, I have to. And that for me is really powerful. Like, I think back to like taking our power back, right? When we rely on other people and we put expectations on other people to be able to, bring us joy or bring us health or any of those things, we are now setting ourselves up to fail, right? I'm not saying anything negative about the healthcare system necessarily, but you have to be the one who becomes the advocate for yourself. It really does fall onto you to make those choices, make those connections, make those appointments, make the support, reach out to people like this who can support you. It falls onto you. But the beautiful thing about that is that then it's up to you. Nobody can tell you what you can and can't do, like what Tanya was saying. So there's like this like push and pull. It's like, oh, you mean it's all on me? Yes, it's all on you. And that is awesome.
And on your support system, right? It's on your support system as well, because when you're in the acute phase of injury, you really do need a good support system, especially if you're really injured. You need that good support system around you, an occupational therapist, a nurse. These are really valuable people in our community, a physical therapist, a kinesiologist. All of this team of people comes together, the specialists who are intervening in your life. But when you have chronic pain and for an extended period of time, you start to see these people dissipate out of your life and you can feel really alone. You can feel like you're really doing it alone. And who is listening? Who's showing up for you? People start to get exhausted from your day-to-day care, your family members, your partner. Where do we bridge that gap? Where do we go for help? Who's listening? And that's what we're talking about in the environment you live in. So this is a good segue into how might your environment be impacting your chronic pain, that long-term pain beyond the acute phase of injury, where what in your environment could be contributing to your feeling like those pain signals are just escalating every day. What can you identify in your environment that you could change to turn down the pain signals? Because really what pain signals are is coming from your brain, going down your brainstem, sending it through your central nervous system saying, I'm in danger. And all that's saying is, what is my body trying to tell me? What is my body trying to tell me? It could be you need more pillows around your body. Could be, we posted some pictures this week in Joy and Pain. I'm not getting enough sleep. Maybe the chair I'm sitting in, it might be comfy, but it's not the best support for my back. Maybe my bed is not the best support for me. Maybe I'm driving too far in traffic without my seat properly adjusted. This is where an occupational therapist can give you an ergonomic assessment at your office where you're working, or if you're working from home, like a lot of people are during COVID. Your home office might not be the proper setup for you. Our workplaces, they give you a really good ergonomic assessment, but who's doing that at home? Oh, I'm good. I'm going to put my feet up. I'm going to sit and put my jacket on, but I got my pajama pants on and I've got my, you might not have all those tools that you have at the office. Maybe that needs to be adjusted. Do you have a mat under your feet while you're cooking? All of these support systems that you might not have thought about could be increasing your pain. And like you said earlier, the internal emotional dialogue. Are your relationships toxic? Who's helping you take care of the kids? Are you doing self-care? What are the things you're saying to yourself about yourself and your pain that could be lessening your joy? Do you have something that's giving you fulfillment? Do you contribute to yourself in a way that's bringing you joy? Me, I like to sing. Jessica knows that. I'll break out in song every day that we talk. I used to love,
which I love.
Right? Yeah. Jess used to get in her car. Do you want to tell them about your dancing in the car?
What do you mean used to? I do it every day.
Okay. Well,
yeah, I'm a total car dancer. Like for me, music, like you love to sing, I just like to move, right? And so for me, like I have to drive to get to work every day, and I look at these people, and I look off to the side, and I look at the different people while I'm driving, and they're all just kind of doing this, right? And I'm over here doing this, like you have to make your own joy, right? And that's what I think, back to the whole like the responsibility thing, is we have to make our own joy. Because if we're not intentionally making our own joy, then whether you like it or not, you're intentionally making yourself miserable and blue. And right? It's like whatever you focus on and what you choose is what you're going to have. So it's up to you guys what you want to feel. For me, I get that we're talking about pain. So when I say the word feeling, you're probably now going into your body and feeling the physical pain. I'm talking about emotions. I'm talking about pleasure. I'm talking about like what you can do with the brain, what your mind is capable of doing that can actually alter how you feel emotionally, which actually does have a very powerful effect on your body. Because, and maybe Tanya, you can speak more to this because you're more of the biology side of things and the physical side of things. But I was doing some research the other day, and our body actually releases happy chemicals, right? Like based on our state. Like you've heard of the runner's high. It's because when you put, actually, this is a really interesting one. I learned the runner's high is really about, and I can't remember which chemical, so bear with me, this is going to be for another talk, but there's 4 of them in particular that are really good for increasing how we feel physically. And the one that creates the runner's high actually has everything to do with the fact that you get to feel that amazing feeling because you've actually pushed through something painful. You only get that runner's high when you've reached a point where you have to push through, right? So it's really amazing what our body is capable of doing for us when we learn how to tap into it. And it all starts with here. It's here. It's, you know, we have so much power that we're not tapping into. So Tanya, have you got, like, you may know more about this than I do. So I'm just learning.
Well, the thing is where, you know, when you're in pain, and welcome back, Tracy. Hi, nice to see you. When you move, like people that are in pain are afraid to move because they think it's going to cause them more pain. But if your toes don't hurt, move your toes. It really does you wonders. If your fingers don't hurt, move your fingers. Like I remember when I broke my neck in the accident, and I was told just move your eyes because it activates the nerves at the back of your neck. Do you know? And I was really confined to my bed because I was in C-spine precaution. And any movement is positive movement. Do you know? But the thing that we buy into is that moving will hurt. You have to change your thought process. You have to get into mindfulness. Do you know? Because your muscles will atrophy. We have to change our mind about things in our environment. Movement to change pain. Like I attended a pain clinic, and the one thing that they did that I love is you attended classes there where they changed your mindset, relaxing to change pain, movement to change pain. It was wonderful because you're engaging your mind and getting over those preconceived notions, or like we say, belief systems, that these things are going to cause more harm. But your body beyond the acute phase of injury needs these things to happen to start to heal, to train the brain that you will not be in danger. Kinesiologists will tell you this, occupational therapists will tell you this, physiotherapists will tell you, even if you can only move a little bit, 2 millimeters of progress a day is still progress. Tony Robbins will tell you that. I will tell you that. Jessica will tell you that. Do you know? A little bit of movement a day will not only improve your body physiologically, it will improve your emotions. It will improve your joy. Doctors are talking about this. When we meet at Pain BC, we talk about this. Mindfulness, joy, all of these things improve your fulfillment. It improves your day-to-day global functioning. It actually helps with depression, those endorphins, dopamine, serotonin, cortisol, adrenaline, all of these things, these hormones that are in your body. That's what I'm talking about, that runner's high that you get when you start to improve your physiological state and you're moving your body. You say, if you're in pain, you ask, what is my body trying to tell me? And this is what I do with clients. I get them to do a body scan. And this body scan is, do my toes hurt? No? Thank you, body, for showing up for me in a positive way. I know it seems like it's like a kind of, people say, oh, that's kindergarten. You know, when you say, you put your right foot in, you put your left foot out, and you shake it all about, you know, but that exercise is actually really good for your body, especially if you're in pain, because it's getting your body to move and it's training your brain to tune down that dial on those pain signals. Thank you, body, for showing up for me today. And when you address the pain and you look at the part of your body that's not in pain or is in pain, and you say, I wonder what my body's trying to tell me. Do I need to support it with a knee brace? You know, do I need to support it with this? If you're on pain medication and you have to keep increasing that pain medication, what your body's telling you is something needs to be addressed. And what I like to say is maybe you don't need more pills, you need purpose. And that's my mantra. Like, you know, I'm not saying you don't always need medication, because we need to work with doctors, with community specialists, but we also need to work with coaches. And we need to say, what can I change on a daily basis that's going to improve my fulfillment, improve my joy? Because when we get those good hormones flowing, we improve our lives, because we don't want to be in pain the rest of our lives. We want to have more pain management so that we can function doing something that brings us fulfillment, whether it be volunteering, work, anything. Occupation doesn't always include going back to work. It includes showing up for yourself in a meaningful way. So what can we do to lessen the pain in our environment? Through looking at our environment. If it's cluttered, what can we do to declutter it? If we need to replace something, what can we do? If something's displeasing to us in our environment, if we need to change a picture, change a picture. If you like flowers, buy yourself flowers. Who said someone has to buy them for you? I love giving myself flowers. I'm beautiful.
I've been buying myself flowers for years.
Right? You're amazing. Get yourself some flowers. You know, it doesn't hurt to do that. You're important. Self-care is so important. When you show up for you and you improve yourself, others start to see that, you know? And one of the biggest things is that you need to assess yourself daily through mindfulness, through meditation, through gratitude. And when you start doing that, your mood improves, your outlook improves, and you can build your toolbox to wellness. So that's what I'd like to say. Tracy, do you have anything to contribute that do you have questions or anything you'd like to add? If you want to unmute, we'd be happy to hear from you. Especially, how are you doing today?
Thank you. I am doing all right. Here, I'll come on camera. I'm just being
Oh, nice to see
I'm all
you.
shy.
Hi. So good to see you.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. It's been a day. I had counseling earlier, and I do agree with like every little bit. I've been frustrated because I broke my foot back in August, and it's not healing. And I had to go. I was on, and then I had to go because it turned out that I missed an appointment. I thought it was yesterday, but it was today for my foot, finally, with the foot surgeon. Anyways, that's a whole other story. But she was calling me back, and so I have an appointment booked next week instead of today. So yay for them doing follow-up.
Good.
But yeah, every little bit helps. I have been struggling since August, since I broke my foot, because I was doing great, walking 10,000 steps a day, working out 3 days a week. I was doing great. Then I broke my foot because I was riding my bike at the BMX track with my boys.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how I broke it. So I have a great story, but it was like so embarrassing. The paramedics had to come in and rescue me.
That can be difficult for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been crazy. But yeah, so, and you have to heal emotional health, right? Like that's one thing I'm working on, and I'm super thankful because today was supposed to be my last day of counseling, but then there's something that came up and I was gifted with 48 more sessions. So yeah, I wasn't gifted really, I earned it, but anyways, yeah. So
well, that's beautiful that, you know, I will say that you're working on you and you're going through those sessions and, you know, you're doing the work, and that's really important. You're showing up for you.
Yes, I'm just serving dinner.
Oh,
Wait.
Thank you for having us for dinner.
Toast. And I have
That's beautiful. You're an excellent host.
And gravy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
And
I see that you've got Bonnie's shirt on.
I do. I wear it all
awesome.
myself that I'm a badass.
Yes, you are. You're a fighter, and I love that about you.
Thank you.
That's great.
My word of the year is confidence. Thanks to Jessica, because it was mindset, and she was like, no. How do you want to feel at the end of the year? And confidence is what I need. So, which is why my face is all red. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm like sweating so bad.
Oh, it's all good. You know what? That's so beautiful. And I like that you're acknowledging that, you know, to go to counseling and to put in that work. And Jessica, do you want to add something about that, to self-care and to put in that work?
Yeah, I just, you know, I love what Tracy said about, it's not just about healing the physical side of it, is that you recognize that there is an emotional side. Because what happens, like Tracy, I've known Tracy for a few years now, and she has been working really hard at creating an amazing routine for herself with exercising. She's going to boot camp, she's doing hikes, and she's a mom with 2 kids, and her husband travels for work, and and she still manages to do all of this. And then all of a sudden, brick wall, identity crisis, right? All of a sudden, this person that you've been becoming, right? Because we're always becoming, but this work that Tracy had been putting in, all of a sudden, it's like, boom, it's taken from her, right? And that can be really difficult. This kind of goes back to what I was talking about in the beginning about you losing that sense of control, right? And so I'm really glad that Tracy recognizes that, yes, there's a physical side that she needs to focus on, and she's doing the work there. She's, making the appointment. She's recognizing she may need to have surgery again, whatever that may be. She's taking those steps. But the other side of it is healing the emotional side of it, working through that, changing the mindset, seeing yourself as somebody that is, as you said, able, right? And and luckily in her case, this is potentially a short-term thing, but yet it's new, it's difficult, it's an identity crisis that you have to work through. And so I love that she's recognized that she needs that support system. And I also love that, like, I truly am a believer in the universe delivers. And so just when she's finding out that the last session for her counseling, somehow magically, she's done something. She says she worked for it. So something happened that created more of this support that she needed. And I love that. And this is what starts to happen, because my second point that I wanted to make was about focus. And so when you start to put yourself in one of the ways that we can create more focus on what we need is by asking powerful questions, which is a lot of what you were talking about earlier. It's like, what does my body need? Listening to our body and doing the self-care. And I truly believe part of that self-care and then journaling about it. Because when you ask your mind a question, it will go hunting for the answers, right? And so like what you were saying is like, how can I feel better? What needs to change in this situation? Your brain is going on a hunt and destroy mission to seek those answers and the opportunities. A doctor may all of a sudden, you may see a name in a newspaper article or online or at a street, like on a bus stop or something that just happens to be exactly what you need. And you'll be like, how did that happen? It happened because you attracted it to yourself because of your thinking. Enjoy, Tracy. Awesome. Yeah. And if you want to chime in, at any point, by all means, jump in. This is interactive. This is for you guys. So, but when you start asking these questions, like, I don't know what Tracy was thinking, but I'm going to guess that Tracy was thinking along the lines of, that she wanted more. She wanted more. And so it came to her. And this is a thing. This is true. It's not woo-woo. I'm sorry, but this shit freaking works. And so, focusing on what's going on in our minds and the thoughts that we're thinking and the questions we're asking ourselves can be just as important as the physical stuff that you're doing for yourself to take care of yourself, because you will start to see things and have things attracted to you that are going to help you on your journey. Do you agree, Tanya?
Oh, absolutely. So what we call this is the reticular activation system. So when you are in this mindset, it's not about affirmations. It's not about writing down, I want this, I want that, I want this. It's not about a belief system. It really gets down to doing the work. You can say, we've done some timeline stuff, we've done other things, but when you get to the heart of it, you have to do the work. Where your energy goes, your mind flows. So have you ever been, you bought a new car and all of a sudden you see your new car everywhere, or you're pregnant and all of a sudden you see pregnant ladies everywhere, but if you really put your mind to things and you start doing the work, you're going to have open doors everywhere.
Yes.
it's really mindset and action. So if you see yourself and you do the work and you open yourself up to possibility and you see the end goal there, you can achieve anything. If someone has done it before you, it's possible for you to achieve it as well. That's what I can say. That's one thing that was instilled into me with the Tony Robbins belief systems. And it's not that I'm trying to sell you on Tony Robbins or whatever, but it's the training that Jessica and myself have received through that coaching program and all the education that we've done that has really changed the mindset of what you can accomplish when you have people around you supporting you, and when you get into the mindset of what you can accomplish through doing the work and seeing opportunity around you and seeing possibility rather than disability. That's what I would say.
Yeah. One of the things that I'm learning right now, like, okay, I think a lot of us understand this stuff logically, right? It's like, okay, yeah, if I think about positive things, I'm going to attract positive things. And, we get that. We can logically say, yes, I believe that. However, I would be really curious to know how many people can say that they've actually experienced it. Because I would unfortunately, I find not as many people experience that as believe it, right? And I think it has a lot to do with the fact that back to my freedom formula, but the awareness. We need to really start to become like microscopically aware of what we're thinking about during the day, right? Is like, I get it. If you wake up and you're in pain, your mind is going to be going to, I'm in pain. I hate this. This sucks. And you just kind of get into that negative. You're focused on the feeling you don't want to have. And unfortunately, what that does is it attracts more of that bad feeling. So the switch that has to happen is, as much as I can't imagine for myself what it's like to wake up and be in that kind of pain. So I don't know what it's going to take for you. Tanya can probably speak more to this than I can, but it has to happen. Is you have to find a way to shift the thought. So whether it's you recognize the thoughts that are coming up, the first step may very well just be to hear what you're saying to yourself, and don't even make any changes. Just start to hear it. What are my thoughts that I have first thing in the morning when I get up? What are they? Right? And then just start there. And then the next step would be to, okay, what thought would I rather have that is actually going to be more helpful for me? Right? So it may be like you wake up and you're like, oh, my foot hurts, like poor Tracy, right? Just puts her foot down on the floor when she gets up and she goes to stand and she's like, oh, that hurts. So just first recognizing that this is the first few thoughts that come up every day. Now, what would you rather think? What would you rather think? Oh, my foot feels so much better than it did when it was in the cast, right? Or something like that. Just like take 1 degree shift, like what Tanya was saying. These changes happen over time. You can't expect to go a total 180, right? But you can start to make these tiny little incremental shifts in the way that you're thinking, the way that you're acting, the way that you're showing up. But for now, just the thinking side of it. And you can pick something so that what I like to do is I like to pre-decide things, right? Because then when you're in the moment, the emotion doesn't really kind of take over because you've already pre-decided something. So if you can think, okay, first of all, what are these thoughts that come up every single day? The same ones that run over and over again that are on the negative side. Now, when I feel this, or I say this to myself, what is something better that I could say that's more positive? And then just start to try to find, okay, that's a better choice. So now when I hear myself say this or think this, nope, I'm going to snap myself into this thought instead. And just practice and practice and practice. And you're not going to do it every time, all the time, but over time, you will start to be able to snap yourself out of the negative thoughts sooner. And you're going to find that more often than not, you're actually going to have the more powerful positive thoughts. And what this does is it completely changes the way that you are going to feel. And I'll tell you a quick little example about myself. So one of the issues that I'm struggling with myself right now is because through COVID and the last couple of years of some of the work that I've been doing, it's made it so that my life has been a lot more sedentary than it used to be. And so because of that, I'm having swelling in my feet and my legs, and it's very uncomfortable. And I'm struggling to find some solutions for it. I'm working with some things to work on some solutions for that. However, one of the things that I have noticed, and you guys can call bullshit on me if you want, but I'm telling you it's true, is that every morning I would think to myself, oh, I wonder how puffy my feet are going to be today. I started to recognize that these were the thoughts I was having, as I was already anticipating that my feet were going to be swollen and uncomfortable. And I finally decided that I didn't want to do that anymore. And I started to say to myself, I have this little mantra, happy, happy, healthy feet, happy, happy, healthy feet. And I sing this to myself all the freaking time. And what's happened, my feet are not even close to as swollen as they used to be. And I can tell you, I haven't done anything dramatically and enough to have changed them from anything other than the fact that I have literally told my body that I want happy, happy, healthy feet. I challenge you, I challenge all of you to, for 2 weeks, find something like this that you can change the negative thought into a powerful, happy, happy, healthy feet kind of thought. And you report back to me and tell me what you find. I will guarantee if you do it consistently, you will notice a difference. Tanya, have you ever done any of this kind of stuff?
I have. So in the car accident, I used to weigh 340 pounds. So no word of a lie. So I was 340 pounds. I am now 220. And I said to my body last year, I said, okay, I can't breathe when I walk upstairs. I'm having a real difficult time. Thank you, body, for protecting me in the car accident, but the weight can go now. I really, honestly, yes, I watch what I eat. I watch what I put in my body. I do that because I'm very aware of mindful eating. So with that said, every day as part of my gratitude, I'm like, thank you, body, for having that extra weight to show up for me so that I could survive the car accident. But really, weight, you can go now. And I use that as a daily mantra, as part of my mantra. I have lost 120 pounds. And I can't exercise extremely well because, I broke my neck, my back, and it really hurt my body a lot. So it does hurt to exercise, but I do some exercise and I've lost 120 pounds. So from different mantras and gratitude that I do every day, 120 pounds. So it's not a huge difference, but the things you tell your body, like I will say, what you feed your body, both nutritiously, mentally, what you listen to, all these things can contribute to your pain, to your joints, to everything. What you watch on TV can contribute to your mindset, what you listen to as far as music goes, if people are fighting around you, it all can create a toxic environment, even with the food. If what you're putting into your body, it can create a disruptive environment and harm your tissues, your blood, your gut health. Everything can be contributing to your pain. My weight was certainly contributing to my pain. And I have to say, I feel a lot better, 120 pounds less. Because can you imagine carrying around a backpack that weighs 120 pounds? Holy crap. No, I couldn't lay on my back. I'd feel like I was choking to death. Not good. But
The girls just kind of crept up on you. Right?
or rolled under my armpits. You know what I'm saying? For all the guys that might be watching this later, I'm really sorry. Too much information.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. So I will say that once you get control of these things that you have in your environment, and that you put into your environment, this is the only body you've got. Let's take care of it, people. Really pay attention to this body you have. It's the only one you've got. Stop shaming yourself. Stop harming yourself with these negative belief systems, with these negative thoughts, and let's bring more joy into your life, because life is beautiful. It's the only one you've got. Let's treat each day like a new day to be joyful. Whatever it takes. Think back to when you were like your youngest memory of when you were joyful, and let's recapture that moment and smile. You know, I used to have, one of the things that made me so sad was when I couldn't smile. It hurt too much to smile. And I only wanted my smile back. Do you know? I wanted to shine again, because when you break your neck, these muscles here hurt so much to smile. And I had to learn to smile again without pain. So I was like, please let me smile again without pain. Because I had 5 kids and my kids were silly as anything. They cracked jokes every day and it hurt like hell to smile. And I couldn't help but laugh, but I couldn't laugh for too long because it hurt. You know, and it was just like, I couldn't help but laugh out loud. And I was like, oh, dang, oh, and it hurt so much. But I exercised my laugh lines because it made me smile so much. Even though it hurt, I laughed through the pain. So I say, have joy and pain, and just laugh out loud. Watch some comedies and distract from your pain and just friggin' laugh out loud. Do you know? Find time in your day. I get the pain, I really do. I have lived experience. But my goodness, life does not have to be so hard. Do you know? How much more of your life are you willing to give up to your pain? Let's get control over your pain, not your pain having control over you. Do you know? Really, let's find purpose in your life together. And let's work on this and build your toolbox to have a joyful life. And let's find purpose every single day. I started by journaling of the thoughts that I was having. And that way I could see progress every day. You know, like Jessica said, you know, what are your thoughts? What comes up when you're in pain? Could you change the way you think even a little bit every day? You know, could you talk to your body? It's not that unordinary to talk to your body. I wonder what my knee's trying to say today. Do you have to have surgery? Is there another way you could look at it? Could you say, thank goodness I'm having surgery today. There's an outcome that's going to change my life for the better. And think positively rather than, oh, excuse my cussing, fuck my life, I'm about to have surgery. How about my life's about to get better? I'm going to pray for those doctors, or I'm going to put joy and light into those doctors, and they're going to fix me, and I'm going to be active again. How about that? And you just say, think of all the possibilities. You know, I can see the end of this tunnel, and I'm going to walk again, or I'm going to do this again. And see the end rather than how long it's going to take you to get there. Because I don't care if it's going to take me a year to walk again. It took me 9 years to get back to work, really. 8 years. But I wouldn't change it for the world, because I learned so much how to show up for others through my pain. Let's do this journey together, people. I love you all.
So one of the things,
over.
Yeah, no, rant away, baby. It's amazing. Something that came up was that I think what I'd love to do in this community is, because I believe that we can feel whatever we want to feel whenever we want to feel it. We can change our state, right, Tanya? This is what when you went and walked on fire, you know, this is what our mentor teaches us, is that state is key. State is key. And the beautiful thing is that you can change your state anytime you want to. When I say state, I mean your emotion, how you feel in the moment. And so one of the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to put up a resource in the group for people. I'll record it later and then I'll put it up, but it's all about how to step into a specific state. So we call it the circle of excellence in NLP. And what it is that it's like a guided visualization that takes you back to very specific feelings, the good feelings, and you stack them. It's like emotional stacking, which is something that Tanya and I both learned about in our coaching training. This emotional stacking, and you take all the good and all the joy and all the fun and all the proud and all the confident and all the good, and you stack it all on top of each other by by remembering memories from your past, right? And then what it does is it shows you that at any moment you have the power to feel good. So I'm going to gift this to everybody in the group, and I'll do a recording of walking you through this circle of excellence. Yeah, I know, Tracy, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Little exercise, and then it's something that you have. You can come back to the group anytime you want. I'll even put it up in my YouTube so that, you know, if you can go there and you can find it, I'll share it with Tanya. Tanya, you can put it on your YouTube, wherever, and then you guys have access to it, because it really is. It's amazing how easy it is to change your state, and the minute you step into a new positive state, you will start to see things differently. Like whatever state you're in is what you're going to see, right? So if you're in a negative state, all that you're going to see is negative. But if you're in a positive state, then you're going to start to see the positive. So we want to focus on being in a positive state more often, regardless of how you're feeling. You're going to feel that way anyways. If your knee hurts, it's going to hurt anyways. So why not also feel good emotionally and look for more good throughout your day? So this is something I'm going to put into the group so that you guys can have access to that anytime you need it. So that's my gift.
Yes, thank you. And, you know, I'll do my best to post some guided meditations that you can do to turn down your nervous system. So at any time you can relax your body and get into a kind of a zero state, so that you can do some deep box breathing and relax your central nervous system. So that can kind of tune down your pain as well. When your pain is really screaming at you, let's tune it down. And I'll put those guided meditations in the Joy and Pain group as well. And they should be available on YouTube at the same time. So I love you. Thank you, Tracy, for joining us tonight and for your kind words. And I'm going to send you light and love to that foot. Let's heal that up. And yay you for showing up for your sessions and working on some self-care. You know how much we love you. And thanks for joining us here tonight. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Sending you lots of love.
Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Yay. Woo. Yay you for showing up, you badass.
There it is. I think we should all show up in our badass sweatshirts one day.
I think so. Give a huge shout out to Bonnie. She's amazing.
Badass Bonnie. Yeah.
That beauty queen there. Yeah, we love her so much. And yeah, she was at the, what was it called? The Makeover Challenge. And she was a beauty queen. Yeah, she's definitely badass. Bonnie is. I
sponsored her for that.
Yeah, oh, beautiful. Yeah, Jessica is like one of their coaches. She inspires so many. She's founder of Just a Girl Like Me Coaching. And she was my coach. Actually, I hired her and she helped me develop Guided Path Wellness. And she is just my go-to girl. She's amazing. So thank you, Jess, for all you do for our community and for showing up for other women to boost them up in everything that they're doing. Ignited Entrepreneurs, Bring the Joy Girl. It's been so fun hanging out with you tonight. Thank you for helping all our chronic pain sufferers, both emotionally and physically. And that's our evening. Anything you'd like to say before we close tonight, Jess?
Nope, that's good. I think that's a great place to end it. Tracy, do you have any final words you'd like to say?
Thanks, ladies. I love you. Appreciate you. And I look forward to hearing more about it. Joy and Pain, right?
Thank you.
Every Wednesday, we're going to come on live at 6 o'clock. So you're welcome to join in the conversation, ask questions, all that good stuff. So
thank you. Have a good night.
Awesome. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Joy and pain, it's like sunshine and rain.